Brother Mark would come up and nail all the stats that I was going to read, so I'm going to leave my phone in my pocket. It was great to have a 1,000-yard receiver. What an accomplishment. And that is something that, that's great. And it's not the stats, I believe, that you heard tonight or today that makes Noah stand out as a person, as a student athlete, and his family as well. And he has great support. I got a chance to see him in the locker room be a great brother. You don't always see that. He was a great brother, and would push him as well. But I think Noah, he was one of those kids that, Coach, I can go do it. I can do it. Left tackle, need left tackle. No, we don't need a left tackle. He was that guy. Took kids to church. I don't know how many times when finally Coach started letting him take a few people in the car with him, he was always trying to take somebody somewhere to church. And that means a lot because he was caring about the soul of that person, which means a lot. I was a former athlete as well, receiver, may not look like it now, but Noah would ask questions. Coach, could you do this? He would ask questions. Could you do that? What do you think? And, maybe he was comparing himself, kind of see if we did the same things. And I tell you, he was one of those guys that always tried to gauge where he was as a player as well, not even as a person, but as a player. And he was always working from both ends of that. And that means a lot because that shows that the holistic approach that he always took as a person. That he wanted to be good, yes, as an athlete, but also as a person. He was one of those guys that if he made a mistake, he would always come to my office, or he would always come over. Coach, he'd come over close to me. Coach, I'm sorry. Or even if he did make a mistake, but it didn't come up to his expectation. It may have been 25 people there to tackle him. Coach, I should have scored. Coach, I should have went this way. I'm like, really? You didn't know where to go? But he was like, I'm sorry, Coach. I'm like, son, you gave it all you had. And I appreciate that about Noah. He was always that type of guy. And that was always special. When recruiters would come in, one of the phrases that I used, and one of the guys remembered it, I said, this boy can catch a BB. He can catch a BB. He can catch anything. And I said, he's a player. He's long. He can run, a great route runner, but the dude can catch anything. And so one coach comes in, he goes, where's that kid that can catch a BB? I said, let me go get him, Coach. But they talk about a great person. In the weight room, changed his body. Noah's long. Every time I see him, it looks like he's getting longer. I'm like, dude, are you still getting taller? Just always worked his tail off in the weight room, but really you saw his body change and how important he thought and believed the weight room was. I think it's helped. I think it's really helped in every sport. And he looks longer every time I see him. Can throw a ball a country mile. Man, he can throw it. Yes, he throws the javelin. He does a great job. Football, he'll stand out there. One day I was watching him practice, and he's in the end zone, just and it goes past half of me. It's going forever. It's probably about a 65-yard throw he threw that day, and I was like, oh shoot, it may hurt somebody if he throws the ball and hits one of the little kids. So, but he can throw a country mile. But in some of the most proud moments that I had is how he handled himself as a person, and how he wanted to take responsibility, and how he wanted to lead day in and day out, how he wanted to be the best person that he could be, and he worked. Just didn't come and fall in his lap, and I'm very proud that I don't have to read the stats. Of course, that would have taken up a lot more time, but you're talking about a kid that worked day in and day out. Not only did he work, but he also pushed his teammates to work. Sometimes he was considered, I guess, the bad guy because he would tell somebody, hey, we can't do that. And so would Carson. But, I believe that the future is great. And, he can do, I believe he could do it track or whatever at the next level, or football. He's been
one of those guys that I would consider a playmaker. A playmaker. When you look at kids that make plays, especially during crucial times, he was one of those guys, and that's what he was. So a better person than he was a player, and he was a great player for us. But you're talking about a person who not only took kids to church, but also he tried his best. Nobody's perfect. He's not perfect, right? But he tried his best to lead other kids in the right direction. That's what a leader's all about. And I appreciate that from him. I appreciate his family, and appreciate both of these families for what they've done, what they meant for our program, and how they're going to continue to do great things. UNA, you're getting two great young men. Two great young men. And, you're as a coach, it makes you very proud. Whether you're a coach or you're a parent, I can say that these two guys will go down, they'll represent this Brooks community very well. They'll represent your families very well. I'm very proud of what you've done and giving us an opportunity to just kind of help in on them being better young people. And we're very excited for them, and we're thankful that we get an opportunity to pour into their lives and to be sometimes that father figure or sometimes that coach that we wish we had, hopefully. And I'll say this about both of them before I sit down, that I'm very proud of both of you. I'm very proud of Carson, very proud of you. And I believe that you're going to do great things, and whatever's in store, you're going to always attack it with the mindset of hard work, dedication, commitment, toughness, fight, all those things that you displayed. I believe Hunter was more sad when it was over than you were. You were sad. But I remember the great brother you were in that locker room. Right? I do remember that. I remember the tough kid that you were to push, Gregg, and all those things. I remember that. And that means a lot. So with that being said, I hope that these young guys that are sitting out here today can remember those things and take those attributes that you guys brought forth in this program, and they can carry it on. I appreciate you both. I appreciate you families for what you've done and how you've raised them. You guys have done an excellent job. Excellent job. Congratulations to both of you. This is a great day. God bless all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Coach Bowens, Coach Black, and